Hi, I'm Kim Drusch, a Century 21 Award. This is my broker, Kurt Francis. Today in this video, we're going to be discussing the first-time homebuyer tax credit that everybody's talking about. Through Kurt's questions and my answers, hopefully you'll get some answers for yourself.
Hi Kim. Kim, could you tell me in a nutshell about the $8,000 tax credit?
Certainly. It's for anybody who purchases a home from January 1st, 2009 to November 30th, 2009, a first-time homebuyer.
Kim, what is the significance of this refundable tax credit?
The nice part about it, it's an actual tax credit. Let's say, for example, Kurt, you're entitled to the full $8,000 and you owe $2,000 to the IRS for your tax debt at the end of calculating your tax return. You would get not only that $2,000 paid to the IRS, but you would get it $6,000 back to you in the form of a refund.
That's fantastic. And who is actually eligible for this?
Anybody who hasn't owned a primary residence in the last 3 years in the United States.
Okay. Kim, how is this calculated, this tax credit?
It's actually calculated based on the purchase price of the house. For example, and it's 10% of the purchase price. So for example, if you buy a home that's $80,000, the tax credit would be the full $8,000. And in San Diego County, it is very easy to spend $80,000 on your home.
Oh yes. Are there any income restrictions on this tax credit?
There actually are, but they're very generous. For a single person filing, it would be a $95,000 income level. For people filing jointly, it's a $170,000 income level.
And when does this first-time home buyer actually have to purchase a home so they are actually eligible for this?
They're eligible for it on the 2008 and 2009 tax credit, and I'm going to answer two questions with that. First of all, on the 2008, if you want to take it this year and you've already filed, you would file an amended return to get your tax credit, or simply wait until you file your 2009 return. You would take it at that time. The second question that I wanted to respond to is, I'm sorry, say that again. What were you asking?
You know, we're talking about when do they actually receive it,
Oh,
and then when do they actually claim it back?
okay, the point I wanted to make on that, and this is very critical because a lot of people are missing this, the time period to buy the home actually ends November 30th. A lot of people think it's the end of the year, December 31st, so that can be a problem. So make sure you note that November 30th is when the purchase has to actually be completed.
They've got to purchase it before November 30th.
Yes, and
not
have it
before
completed.
December 31st.
That's correct. So that's a very critical date, and a lot of people miss that.
And then when do they claim the money back actually?
They claim it back actually on the 2008 or 2009 return
understand.
On an amendment.
Okay. Kim, tell me about a married couple. How does it affect them?
A married couple, both parties, as long as they have both not owned a home in the last 3 years, then they qualify. But if one person has owned a home, they do not qualify at all.
Okay. Tell me about two unmarried people. Do they qualify? Could they qualify?
They do, and that's the exciting part. The IRS allows two unmarried people to purchase a home together. They still will get the full tax credit. Let's say it's the $8,000. The IRS allows them to make that tax split on each of their returns in whatever way makes feasible sense.
Okay. Kim, earlier on you were telling me about that certain people cannot apply for this or do not qualify. Could you tell me more about that?
That's
I found
true.
that very interesting.
That's very true. First of all, it would be someone who purchases the home from a relative. For example, you can't go to Uncle John and buy the home and take the tax credit. The second one would be a non-resident alien. The third one would be someone who it's gifted or inherited. They've inherited or it's been gifted to them. And the fourth one would be anyone who disposes of that asset in the same tax year. You can't purchase the home, takes the credit, and then sell it same year and still qualify for the credit.
Kim, a lot of people have been asking this question. Do they have to pay this $8,000 back?
No, they don't. That's the exciting part. As long as they stay in that particular residence for 36 months from the purchase date.
Okay. Kim, so how does one go about actually applying for this?
Well, I've made it actually fairly easy to get the form. If you go onto my website, www.viewkimshomes, that's VIEWKIMSHOMES.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the front page and there's a link on there that says First Time Homebuyer Tax Credit. If you click on that, there's a series of questions that Kurt and I have gone over today. Also, there's a number of other questions that go to it in great detail, and at the bottom of it is a link to the IRS. Very simple. please visit my website soon and get the answers to your questions. And thank you so much, Kurt. I really appreciate your time today.
Kim, this has really been great, and I know that anybody can just call you if they need to, discuss this with you in further detail as well, besides your website.
Absolutely. I'm here to be your realtor, and I want to represent you in the way that you have full knowledge of whatever's going on in the real estate market. So call me with any questions. My number is 760-580-9195. And thanks for tuning in.